$5 a signature.
We have
Correct.
volunteers.
Sir, there will be time for Q&A.
Okay.
Please let each presenter finish with his or her presentation.
And I believe people should be paid for their work. I mean, we are paid for our work. I think that as mayor, especially over the next 4 years, it's going to be critical that we have a mayor who has the backbone to make the decisions that had to be made. And, it's a very difficult time. Nobody wants to address these issues. That's why the pension problem has gotten as bad as it has. Give you an example. After the mayor submitted his pension plan, they turned around and made a deal with the police and firefighters and approved a 4% raise. Now, this is a raise that had already been negotiated as part of a 25% raise, I think, in 2008. And so this was a 4% raise that was already scheduled. Well, the mayor approved the 4% raise on the condition that they would pay 3% towards their pension costs. And you think, well, that sounds really good. But see, the reality of that is that 4% raise is not only going to cost taxpayers about $4.5 million more a year once you net out the pension contribution, but it also creates a pension spike. Why is that? Because every safety officer that retires is going to qualify for 90% of that 4% raise. The cost to you taxpayers over the next 10 years, $127 million. And so I saw that, and I was like, how could we make a decision like that at these times? You look at what's happening in San Jose, in Oakland, where firefighters and police officers are losing their jobs, where these cuts are killing services and education. So we really need to make sure that we're making good decisions. And I feel, as an independent, I was elected in 2002 as public defender. I ran against the machine then. I am somebody who is not going to be beholden to those same special interests at City Hall. I feel that as public defender, I have a clear understanding of the administrative responsibilities of leading the city. I took probably one of the most underperforming, understaffed, overwhelmed departments in city government and turned it into one of the best city departments. In 2007, the Public Defender's Office won the American Bar Association's award for the best law office in the country. And it really is a testament to the staff that I have, but also the way in which I run my office. We make sure that there is accountability, that people are clear as to their objectives and their goals, and they meet them. We do performance evaluations of all our employees. We make sure that they're trained, that they have the coaching and the support they need to succeed. And I'd like to bring the experience that I've gathered being a public defender for the past 9 years to City Hall. One of the sort of things that I would do as mayor, and I'm just going to mention just a few things. One thing, I would make sure that our small businesses are supported. I've seen the neighborhoods, if you look at almost every neighborhood, you'll find storefronts that are closed. I would take $40 million and I would invest that in 1,000 microloans for small businesses. $40,000 loans to small businesses to help them grow their business. That's one of the most effective ways to create jobs. Every small business that would get one of these microloans, the studies show, would create about 7 jobs. So we're talking about 7,800 jobs that we can create in San Francisco. Now, I think it's great that the mayor and the board of supervisors wanted to give a $75 million tax break to Twitter. But what about our neighborhoods? What about our small businesses? That's an example of what I would do. I would revamp the business tax laws. I think the way that they're set up right now is insane, right? All we have is a payroll tax. So you're taxed on the number of employees that you hire. That's the biggest job killer. It really is. I talked to a good friend of mine I've known for 25 years. He owned 5 restaurants in the city. And he's seen them fold one by one. Why? Because he can't afford to do business here. He really can't. He saw his business license fees go up by a third just this last year. He's paying an annual fee for each of his restaurants of $4,500 to the health department so they can inspect his restaurants. And what's happening is that we're just pricing out businesses out of our community. And new businesses that are coming in. I don't know if you saw the article in the Chronicle about the woman who wanted to start a bowling alley in the Mission. You know, we only have 2 bowling alleys in San Francisco, and she wants to open a third. The planning department wanted $44,000 in fees before she could even begin work. Why not give her a loan for half of that or back out half of those costs? That would make perfect sense so she can open her business. As a result, she decides, I may not do business here in San Francisco. That's got to stop. I would reinstate summer school for all kids. That's an easy one for me. I think kids should be in summer school and not be out on the street at a cost of $2 million. I would make sure that every young person who wanted a job had a job. It's a very simple concept. Right now there's a great program called YouthWorks that employs 80 young people in city agencies. This year we had over 400 applications. The cost of that program, $1 million. I would fully fund it at $5 million. And you ask, oh, these are great ideas. Where would you get the money from? From Proposition D. You know, this is the kind of forward thinking that we have to have in order to become a vibrant city as we once were. I think that you know, it's a plan, you know, that we all have to make sacrifices, obviously, but it's one that if we are successful in implementing it, you know, we will all enjoy the impact of these changes in our communities, whether it's better schools, whether it's vibrant businesses. All of these things have a direct connection to resources, and unless we find a way and a plan to be able to fund all these great things that we do in the city, it's going to be a very, very different place. And so those are just some of the ideas that I have as mayor. I have many, many more. You can go to my website at Jeff Adachi for mayor.com or Adachi2011.com. And I also brought some materials in the back. So I would like to end by saying you can vote for Jeff Adachi for mayor as choice number 1, choice number 2, or choice number 3. As you know, we had instant runoff voting in this election. I think that you'll find that I'm very different than the other candidates that are running. I'm the only one, for example, who has agreed to the spending cap. That is not to spend more than the amount that the other candidates are spending. But I'm the only one who has also agreed not to take public financing. Now, why would I not take public financing? Every candidate who's running for mayor gets $900,000, up to $900,000 in public financing. I think it's a good concept, but not now. How could I take $900,000 at a time when we're cutting summer school? So I refuse to take public financing and instead am raising funds myself. So with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions that you have, either about my candidacy or about Proposition D.
Okay, before we start, let me just interject one thought. We have a tight program tonight. Jeff's on a tight schedule too. Today is his birthday, and he's going to be a birthday dinner. I would ask that you please limit your questions to questions, not just comments. If you have a statement to make, Jeff would be glad to talk with you later. But let's try to get the information that we want to